What's good, squad? You already know the vibes. I'm back with another late night murder mystery for us to watch. And if you new over here and you scared, go to church. Because over here, bro, I like to deep dive into these videos. But with that being said, squad, this video is by Insanity Body Cams. It's called Man Realizes Cops Found His Dead Boyfriend's Body. And I just know it's going to be crazy because there's a dead body involved. You know what I'm saying? Can I say that on YouTube? Well, look, in GTA, you know what I'm saying? But y'all know the drill, squad. Get your food, get your drinks, and we finna hop straight into it. You know what I'm saying? We finna figure it out together.
Hi.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. Listen, squad. I know this is a serious video, but why this man look like my name is Earl, bro? So look, squad, hold on. I'm gonna show y'all real quick, bro. Look, I know we got a lock in, squad. Look, tell me my line, squad. Hold on. Let me. All right, look, squad. Look, squad. Tell me this guy don't look like this man right here, bro. All right, hold on, my bad. Look, we gotta lock in, squad. You know what I'm saying? We like to have fun over here.
69-year-old James Clement, a caretaker living with his elderly patient in an alleged relationship. Just days ago, he killed him and staged the death as an accident.
Ooh.
Were you two dating?
No, he was gay though.
Okay, we're here to offer condolences. Okay.
At the time, officers thought they were speaking with a grieving caretaker. In reality, they were face to face with a man who betrayed his lover, beat him to the brink of death, then built an elaborate lie to cover it up. Police had their suspicions from the very start, yet somehow James would outplay detectives and walk away without ever being convicted of.
Hold on, bro. I didn't know what they're gonna say. How a man that look like this walk away without being convicted? How a man look like this outsmart detective, squad? There's no way. What kind of McGruff the crime dog? You know what I'm saying? Stuff he got going on that he know everything. He outsmart y'all. But let's get straight into it, squad. Y'all know me.
She wants his insurance. She gets all his beneficial. I get nothing.
You think I did something to him?
Not right now. So
Oh,
we're
good,
just,
because I didn't.
I'm so sorry.
I think you got mad at Ralph or something, huh? You said that to me.
I didn't do it.
I knew you did it.
Around 9 p.m. on a Sunday night, 92-year-old Ralph Shorman's life abruptly ended. Inside the home he shared with his caretaker, James Clement, tensions reached a breaking point and James snapped. He walked up to his best friend and delivered a violent blow to the head, leaving him unconscious and bleeding. Panicked, James stepped outside for a...
Hold on, squad. Who in their right mind kills a 92-year-old man, bro? That man done seen some things in his life, and you gonna kill that man. You might as well just let that man live the rest of your life. Now this big goofy guy right here gonna be locked up for the rest of his life. He looks like he a little bit younger. He said 62. Now he gonna be locked up for the rest of his... Nah, that's right. That said he got away. But you know what, bro? Swole for mayor. Let me go find this man and lock him up if he in my city. You know what I'm saying? But y'all get what I'm saying, squad? He just threw his life away when somebody, God bless his soul, was... You know what I'm saying? But hey, bro.
By the time he returned, Ralph was unresponsive. James called for an ambulance, and as help arrived, he began rehearsing his cover-up story, one he thought would clear him. In the early hours of the next morning, the hospital called the sheriff's office to report an unnatural death. A deputy arrived at the ER to find Ralph's body covered in patterned bruises, injuries no one could mistake for an accident. Without waiting for an autopsy, the deputy opens a homicide investigation. Later that same day, officers drive to Ralph's home to talk to his longtime caretaker, James Clement. With suspicion growing, officers arrive at the residence where James doesn't wait for questions. Instead, he's got a story prepared, one he believes will fully cover up the murder.
Oh, did you know he died?
Yeah.
Very sorry.
Stop all that fake crime, bro.
I figured out what happened.
What?
I went out to feed my dogs. I could figure out what he had, why he was bruised on his eyes.
Okay.
And I said, Ralph,
Dog, I ain't no detective. I ain't no police. I don't got no type of body, you know what I'm saying, body reading training, squad, and I can tell he lying. I can tell this is fake tears. Like I said, dog came out the house dressed like my name is Earl. You know what I'm saying? I already know bro ain't there by what I've seen so far. A caretaker and supposedly messing with a 92-year-old man. Who does that, squad? You know what I'm saying?
So my dog did it. He must have banged his head, but I banged his head when I was trying to get him in charge.
Can you show me where that was at? Where he banged his head?
Oh, right here. But that has nothing to do with that. He was already right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was going to here trying to lift him in there, and then he fell on the ground. And it's just terrible. I usually watch him 24 hours a day, and just that time I didn't do it.
Fake crime.
I give him 6 years of my life.
Jim, just take a deep breath, okay? We're here to offer.
92, 93, 99. How old was he, squad? 6 years of your life. So when he started watching him, he was, like 80, 86 or something like that? You know what I'm saying? This man was started messing with an 86-year-old man. Just keep that in your head.
Condolences.
And I know I pause a lot.
I'm gonna lose my home. I don't have nothing. I bought this home to give him a home. I gave my life for him. I lost my home to save him from everybody that wanted to pull the plug on him.
Who's that?
His family.
I mean, were you two dating?
No,
No?
we were just best friends. He was gay though.
Okay.
We were the best friends, and we became family.
Okay.
I was like his
It's
son.
flamboyant ass.
While James speaks, his delivery is hard to miss, marked by big hand gestures, tearless sobbing, and dramatic explanations.
What'd I say?
And he appears to lean heavily into the image of a loyal caretaker,
What'd I say?
describing how much he cared for Ralph, even calling him his best friend. It looked unusual, maybe even a little over the top for police, but they don't know James well enough to tell if this is just his personality, if he's drunk, or if something else is going on. But in the middle of James's
Hell, let me be police chief. I could have told him right there something's going on.
performance,
He
an
lied.
officer spots something suspicious on the car that immediately worries James.
What from? Is that from last night?
Where? Where?
Right there.
No, that's me.
Oh.
I had an artery cut. See,
Oh,
so
okay.
feel that. I want you to feel that.
We're
Would you
not.
feel that? Look at that.
Yeah, we can see it.
I thought I grabbed up.
like a knife.
Ralph called.
Okay.
Ralph called me, and I was trying to fix the dishwasher.
How did you meet Ralph?
Ralph was in a nursing home, and he admired me as a singer in Florence. And
He
they were
can't
being
sing?
really mean to me. Terrible.
Who was?
Florence fella.
Okay.
And one guy even put cocaine up his nose and took his money. But then his sister said, he's 92 years old. What you did for him, just call me.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Now, there's a difference between me and his wife.
She called.
His wife, he married his wife for conveniences. This family was so terrible, they threw him in the nursing home and forgot him.
Who would that be?
Would be his wife. He married.
Okay.
No, take care. There you go.
Thank you.
No, I don't want.
Hey, look, squad, here's what I'm saying so far, right? I don't care how annoyed I am with my father, my elderly, you know what I'm saying? My elderly parents, right? If I didn't like them, right? I would never leave somebody in my family with this man. You know what I'm saying? I never would, squad. One look at him and the family should have known something was wrong. You finna leave this man with, you know what I'm saying? Bro, the family,
Repeated.
they should be locked up
He
too.
married Fran to give her his insurance.
Okay.
And when he broke his leg, she threw him in the nursing home and forgot him.
So he married Frank for insurance, you said?
Yeah, she wants his insurance. She gets all his benefits. I get nothing.
Okay.
Clearly, James knows how to play this. He might look frantic and odd, but he's
do
covering
look odd.
himself well, firing off answers quickly and confidently, never stuttering
They right
or
about that odd part.
hesitating. He also keeps deliberately cutting off officers and steering the conversation under his control. It all sounds nonchalant, natural, like a man with nothing to hide. And it works. Bit by bit, James leads the exchange exactly where he wants it, denying he has anything to gain from Ralph's death, then pointing the finger at Ralph's wife, who stood to benefit from the insurance policy. A clever move. If police want a motive, point them towards someone who has one. Now, with money on the table and a suspicious death, police can't ignore the wife, and they'll have to check everyone in Ralph's
Where's
circle
she
who
at?
might stand to gain. So officers wrap up their visit and head back to coordinate with detectives, unaware this was only the first round in a much longer game. A game that James would ultimately twist in his favor, beating the most serious charge against him. At the
How?
station, detectives begin their investigation while waiting for the autopsy to provide a clearer picture. They check James's claim and confirm Ralph's wife, Frances Shurman, is indeed the insurance beneficiary. Officers are soon sent to her residence to conduct a formal interview. Though instead of taking the heat off James, this would soon backfire in a way that he never saw coming. But while that's happening, James makes his own move. He walks into the police station, unprompted, claiming he's figured out what really caused Ralph's deadly injury. The twist here is detectives are already suspicious that Ralph's injuries were caused by James beating him. So if he slips up and mentions a domestic dispute, police will immediately have the evidence they need to charge him. It's a risky move for James, but surprisingly, he sells the news story well enough to make the case even harder to crack.
He reaches up to his cat, feeds his cat right here, and the lamp is here and his bed is here. So his head's over here, but he reaches up with this hand to turn it on. Well, apparently, the cat probably thought he was going to give him food, so she ran, and that's why he asked me to fix the door.
Look, squad, on the cool, let's keep it a band. Would y'all believe anything this man says right here, bro? Like, I ain't gonna lie, y'all can think I'm wrong for this, but I stereotype, squad. Like I said earlier, I wouldn't believe nothing that came out this man's mouth, squad. He looked loony, you know what I'm saying?
Or hit him in the head. That's what happened.
So the lamp fell over and hit him in the
That's
head?
why that was, yeah. And I asked him, do you want to go to the doctors? He said, no, it's just a little bump. I said, well, I don't know. And I think that's what caused that brain bleed, because it was right in by the temple. Did you see that there? Yeah, and lifting him, I had to pick him up like that to put him in the car, so wherever you touch him, he gets black and blue. His dogs jump on him, he's black and blue.
James rolls out a new explanation, this time saying Ralph's injury came from a lamp that tipped over and struck him. Odd as it sounds, the story fits uncomfortably well. Even the marks on Ralph's head could line up with the base of a lamp. It's a problem for police because with the autopsy results still pending, it's impossible to rule it out. So instead of challenging him now, the detective lets him talk. Every new detail James adds makes the story harder to debunk in the moment, but easier to test against the evidence later.
So Jimmy, I just wanted to tell you, you started talking right away, but you're
My
free to
bad,
do
I'm
anything
quiet.
you
I
want,
wanna hear what he finna say,
You went
squad.
ahead and talk to me, so
I'm trying to get the story.
The doctor's gonna call me back, but now I know what happened. I am such a perfectionist when I love the people. It's my life, I can't.
So how many times did Ralph hit his head?
He must have, well, he hit it onto the door when I was trying to get him in the car, but it was more of a bend over, slide down. His sister said that would have happened anyway. Ralph was 92. She said he wasn't a well man. You kept him alive all these.
Bro, like I said earlier, squad, I think the family should be liable. He just said the sister knew. So the sister know that her dad was left with this loony man right here. If it was, you know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, squad, I wouldn't believe nothing that came out this man's mouth. And I also want to know, squad, how this man and that old guy even know each other and start talking, squad. The man was in a nursing home. This guy just goes to nursing homes and starts scouting people. The man, you know what I'm saying? He ain't on Bumble, Tinder, no dating site. So how this man meet this man? You know what I'm saying? But hey, we finna get deeper into it.
She says, you don't know how much we appreciate that. And like I said, all beneficiaries goes to his wife. His wife was a convenience marriage. He married her to give her his insurance. Because, I knew Ralph was gay. You know, he's been very gay. He was gay. But he needed me, and we were such good friends. I don't care. There was no involved. He was my best friend, and I was very lonely.
How though? Like, where y'all meet?
And he begged me at the nursing home when he used to come sing with me as a patient.
Strategic or not, James is careful with how he presents himself. The loyal friend, the only one who cared for Ralph, framing himself as the last person who'd ever have a reason to hurt him. Detectives can't question it because they know he really had been taking care of Ralph for the past 6 years. However, a motive is one of the first things detectives look for in a murder case, and James is distancing himself from it completely, stressing that Ralph's wife would get all the benefits. What he doesn't know yet is that his defense will eventually collapse because Ralph already told others something very different. For now, though, James keeps circling the same details and drifting into tangents, offering nothing new, until the very end, when the performance cracks and he lets something slip.
So it's going to take some time, but the medical examiners, so they're going to do an autopsy on him and see if they can determine,
What caused that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know, and they could see that lamp fell on.
Before they do that, though, they want to get your side.
Ralph and I got on good.
No, I'm not saying that.
Did that too?
No, not at all. No. They just want to know, the time of events and what happened. So then that helps them better when they're doing the autopsy.
Oh, okay.
So.
And that's a heavy lamp, and if they're running and they hit and it flies,
Yep.
any bruises on everything. Maybe that's why Francis and them won't talk to me. I hope they don't think that I did something. I don't know.
No, I don't.
Ralph told me I had to watch.
I think they're just sad.
For the first time, James says it out loud. He's worried people might suspect him of wrongdoing. The concern only seems to surface after the autopsy is mentioned. And while the detective notes it, being afraid of a wrongful accusation isn't exactly unusual considering the circumstances. At the same time James is voicing his fear, detectives are across town wrapping up their interview with Ralph's wife, Frances Shorman. She gave them an alibi, saying she was nowhere near Ralph that night. Her statements and phone records were collected.
Hey, look, squad, we only 12 minutes in right now. But why do you think this man would kill this other man? You know what I'm saying? Like, if they were lover squad, my theory so far is he had to cheat on him. But at the same time, where would it just sound crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro already 62 messing with a 92-year-old man. I don't know, squad. The wheel was just turning. You know what I'm saying? This is beyond me. I ain't never heard of something like this
and
in my life.
investigators left to verify the details she provided. Later that day, a detective stops by James's house to check the lamp he claimed fell on Ralph's head. Without a warrant, James could have refused, but instead, he seizes the chance to prove he has nothing to hide and lets the detective in without hesitation. A decision that will expose a major flaw in his story, finally giving police something concrete to use against him.
Alright.
Before we get to that, sometimes the most devastating injuries are the ones you can't see.
My bad, squad. I skipped ahead a little bit. It was an ad, but we finna get straight back into it, alright?
I have to let him out.
No, you'll be fine. Can you shut the door?
All they did was walk in.
This is where they ran.
Okay.
They down here.
Get down.
And they
Bro, squad, look
jumped.
Look how messy this house is, bro. You supposed to be the caretaker. You supposed to be someone that cleans up and takes care of the man, but does everything this man can't do. You got chairs everywhere, just stuff all out and about, bro. Man, I ain't gonna lie. They I don't know if they got a CPS or somebody for caretakers. Like, you know how they got people that come and make sure childs are being taken care of? They need somebody that comes and makes sure that people like this that take care of the elderly are actually doing their job, actually cleaning them up, actually taking care of them. You know what I'm saying? Ain't there something like hospice? I don't know, squad. Y'all can let me know down below. But like, don't y'all feel what I'm saying?
Jumps on here, right here. He
Get down.
say what he said. He just turned his light.
Get down.
Get down, dog.
Lady who's a star of a show called Good Times.
And it's still on the level.
Okay.
And they went running over here, and apparently, because the lamp burned here,
But they didn't knock any of this down?
all this was down.
Oh, okay.
This was down.
Is that your phone then?
This is my phone.
Oh, okay.
You could.
If he didn't have everything junky and cluttered and hacked the lamp, you know what I'm saying, pushed back, everything would be fine. If you had a baby crib right there, you wouldn't have a lamp right on the edge, you know what I'm saying, so some can knock it on the baby.
Yeah, I don't want to smell it.
And then he's laying like this, and this is like this.
Oh, okay.
So I can't get this out anymore. So I said, I'll help you. So I put it up, and I paid attention, and I went out to take the little Pomeranians out then. And then when I came in, he said he wasn't hungry, and I looked at him, and he had this bang on his head.
Okay.
Inside the house, James points out the lamp and even reenacts how he thinks it might have struck Ralph. The house is cluttered, but nothing looks alarming.
Yeah,
for the
all that for
moment,
what?
the detective is inclined to see James as just a stressed caretaker dealing with tragedy. That is, until he gets a call that the first autopsy results are in. The detective heads back to the station to check them, but what he finds won't deliver the clarity they were hoping for. The initial findings confirmed Ralph died from a brain bleed caused by blunt force trauma, injuries consistent with a fall from height, car crash, or violent blow. But Ralph was also 92, frail, and on blood thinners. Because of that, the manner of death was left inconclusive, pending further study.
Dog probably got mad at him and pushed him down a flight of stairs with his mean AZZ. That's what probably happened, squad.
Even so, detectives kept looking into Ralph's circle. James's shifting stories, the suspicious bruising, and the financial motive with Ralph's wife were more than enough reason to keep digging. A few days later, detectives secure a search warrant for Ralph and James's residence, and a team of officers is dispatched to serve it. For James, what happens next would be a surprise he never saw coming.
Hi. Hey, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Aren't you,
Bro, these cops then came and went, and he's still dressed like this? What has he got on his head, squad? That can't be his real hair. This grown man who's 62 got a toupee on his head, squad. Heck, take him to the insane asylum. Put him in the back of the jail, squad. Put him under the jail for what he did to this elderly man who couldn't defend himself. The elderly man probably cheated on his weird AZZ.
Go here, okay? Are all the dogs outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would take him to jail, squad, just for how he looked. I ain't gonna
What
lie.
did I do?
I didn't do anything.
Okay.
I'll explain it to you, okay?
Okay. I didn't do anything, actually.
Okay.
I've been working all day. I've been taking care of everybody. What happened to Ralph?
Okay, so,
I really would like to know.
yep, so the reason I'm here today, the reason we're all here today,
Yeah.
is because after his autopsy, some stuff just needs to be answered, okay?
Okay.
So what I had to do because of that autopsy and
Yeah.
being that we don't know what happened to him,
Yeah.
we have to investigate that. So this is a search warrant
Oh, you can search the house.
to go into
The
your house.
upstairs is closed off, so
Okay.
he only stays downstairs.
Yep.
Although James looks a little uneasy, he stays calm and takes the surprise search well, showing no signs of resistance towards officers. But James in turn has a surprise of his own. Out of nowhere, he adds yet another explanation for Ralph's injuries, one that could trigger more suspicion, but James believes it's his best shot at covering his tracks.
Another thing I remember too from that day, I should really tell you this, we were driving to bring the animals to Kearney Road, and all of a sudden a deer ran out and about this far, and Ralph was going to fly into the dash because I slammed on the brakes, and I put my hand up like this to hold him back. When he would have hit his face right into the dash.
Yeah.
So that's
See
what
it
it
done?
was.
That's a lot, squad. But if that did happen, you were his caretaker. A man that old, a caretaker, you're basically like his parent. You know what I'm saying? Why ain't that man buckled up, squad? You are at fault. Now, I know he lying, squad, but y'all get what I'm saying, dog. And there ought to be some type of evaluation before someone just becomes someone's caretaker, a background check, a criminal history, and some type of psych evaluation to know this man ain't right. You know what I'm saying? That shouldn't need internal affairs. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me.
But he's so big, he was going right for the dash.
Okay.
But he didn't hit the dash because I put my hand there. Mm-hmm. I took very good care of Ralph.
Either way, it's his fault. He
So
killed
I'm
that
just
man.
explaining
He
this to
responsible.
you can stay out here with Sergeant Reed, and
Okay.
and my partner and I are gonna go in the house, and we'll
Do they
as
think
long as all the dogs
do they
are
think I
outside.
did something to him?
Not right now. So
Oh,
we're
good,
just,
because I didn't. I loved that man. I went without life for him. Mm-hmm. Took him everywhere, lifted him. A lot of the bruises on him is putting him in the car. His dogs jump on. You try to put a guy in a car like that, you have to pull him out. Your elbows are in, and I was damaged, so I had to use my hands like this to pull him out of the car and put him in things. So I'm glad you're going to check that, okay?
yeah.
Clearly, James isn't making the police's job any easier with the string of details he keeps remembering. But at the same time, it makes him look cooperative and keeps suspicion at bay. With this new near-accident theory added onto the list, one officer stays outside with James while the others move to conduct the search. Inside the house, they collect Ralph's cell phone, but there are no weapons, no bloodied clothing, and no indication of a violent struggle. So with no concrete findings,
How the old man
officers
gonna
leave
fight?
the residence to brief detectives. At this point, the autopsy is still inconclusive, and with no real evidence of a crime, the case is stuck. If James stays quiet, he gets away with it right here. But he won't do that. Over the next month, James kept going back and forth with police, bringing new statements or calling late at night whenever he remembered a new detail. It seemed like he was helping clear his name, but what he didn't know was that every time he opened his mouth, he was digging his own grave.
So, you came in voluntarily, right?
Yes.
You're free to leave the doors open. You're not...
Anybody can hear me because it's the truth.
Well, I'm just letting you know, so you're not under arrest. If you want to leave the doors right there, you can get up.
I know I'm not being prosecuted for anything.
Okay,
They're trying to find out what happened.
Yep, just because we're back here, and I just want to make that clear, okay?
No, I'm not worried about anything.
I ain't gonna lie, squad. It's crazy that somebody can kill somebody and then sit up here and lie. Like, you murder somebody, like, I know the man ain't all the way there, squad, but, like, your conscience ought to come and tell you, like, dang, I really killed a man for no reason. You know what I'm saying? And, squad, gang violence is different. A little bit different, right? It's all messed up. Killing ain't good. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, you killed a man for nothing, dog. A man that probably didn't fight you, put his hands on you. You were taking care of him. He was defenseless. Man, I hope he got charged. I hope they came back and got him charged. And I hope he got I can't say it, but a bye-bye penalty.
Okay,
I'm
perfect.
worried about what happened.
Okay.
And I'm worried that...
County Lake is right behind it.
Okay.
I really, for my sake, because that scared me with all those people. I never thought this would come to this because it wasn't my fault. Why did so many people come? Is that against me, or is that something? Is something happening?
I don't know.
Why did they think I did it?
I didn't say that, Jim. No.
Oh, okay, because I hope, now don't break my heart.
I mean, if there is something that, if you ever did, you should probably come clean and just, because
never did.
Because if something like that did happen, in my experience, it's better to get out in front of it and be truthful.
What would happen? Nothing happened.
During the weeks that followed, James kept calling police with strange remarks and making sure they never forgot his name. Until a month later, when he finally decides he's had enough of waiting and wants to clear his name entirely, starting with a phone call.
And when I turned around, I turned to the right to turn around to get him to pull him in to the place. I hit him in the back of the head with my elbow in my back of my arm because I didn't know he was there. So
Yep,
got him calmed
that
down.
conscience eating his ass up, squad.
They told
What
me
I
it
say,
would
that
be
conscience
here, but
eating
I
his
never
ass up.
expected something like this
He
to
just
happen. It was
can't
bad,
shut up, just still talking.
Yeah. Did they find out anything?
I hope he can't sleep tonight, even to this day.
Jim, I'm sorry, it's just kind of taking a while here.
I will bring this to you, but I'm also going to show you a card that Fran sent me. She sent me many of them after this. You'll see what kind of care I gave to him from the letters she wrote to me and Ralph. So I'll let you do that too, okay?
Okay, Jim. I'll meet you out in the lobby.
Thank you, Mark, so much. Bye-bye.
Minutes after the phone call, James shows up at the police station carrying more handwritten statements, and even stranger, a letter from someone he believes will finally clear his name once and for all.
Hi, Jim.
I'm waiting for you to come here. Oh, you look so different. Now I recognize you. Is it cold in here or is it me? I got low blood pressure.
It's cold out.
He's talking about the cop look different. This nigga look the same in every picture, bro. He I don't know what's on his head, dog. I don't know who told him that shit was acceptable, but he needed his ass whooped.
Yes. Yeah, I did this.
He too old. He ought to know better.
And
But he out here
right
killing
here,
people, so he don't know
this
better.
was actually, I made this. This is actually, I write this down because this has been so horrible for me. It kind of helps me.
Therapeutic for you?
Yes, it is. So, I'm so sorry. I can't even breathe anymore.
You guys were together for a long time.
He was about going to die from the first time I got him. I lost my home saving him from his family. They didn't care. But I want you.
What I say, dog, the family should be liable, squad. They need to have something to do with this. Y'all signed y'all rights over to your parent, whoever it is, to this man. This crazy man. You know what I'm saying? They need to be charged as well. For neglect.
James's so-called evidence turned out to be a card written by Ralph's wife filled with kind words about the care he'd given. While unexpected, it was his trump card. Proof that even Ralph's own wife vouched for him. But the cop noticed his sudden emotional shift, his voice cracking as if
his wife just wanted that money. She would say everything and put all the notes she did. You know what I'm saying? She was just happy the man gave her what he gave her. You know what I'm saying?
Verge of tears, but with none to show. It was an odd moment, and just as quickly, James returned to his usual composure. With that, the officer took the card and made copies of it, while James went home, likely thinking he had finally convinced them of his innocence. What he couldn't have known is that the same woman who wrote that card would later become one of the most damaging witnesses against him. In the months that followed, the case seemed to stall. Even James stopped calling as if he'd finally moved on, but detectives quietly kept digging. In that time, they collect troubling claims from people Ralph confided in about being abused. Then, in January 2022, the final autopsy results arrived. 3 separate internal brain injuries were identified, a pattern consistent with a violent blow, and this time, the manner of death was officially ruled a homicide.
Ooh.
By this point, detectives already interviewed Ralph's wife, Frances. They were able to verify her alibi, and she was quickly ruled out. So detectives were left with only one person who'd been with Ralph that night, his caretaker, James Clement. But they didn't have anything against him. No murder weapon, no eyewitnesses, and no forensic evidence. All they had were James's messy stories. Taking him to court now would almost certainly fail. And if James simply lays low and avoids a confession, it's game over. He wins, and the police are all out of options. At this point, detectives know their only chance is to force James to admit what he did. So this time, they call him in, asking if he wants to come for an interview and hear the autopsy results. The plan is to catch James off guard, confront him, and get him to confess. If they're ever going to prove foul play, it will have to come straight from James's mouth. That afternoon, James arrives at the station thinking he's going to clear his name and finally be at peace. Detectives, on the other hand, need to make sure he doesn't walk out free.
I got the medical examiner's report now.
Yeah.
Okay, the autopsy report.
Oh,
it's all right here. The dogs had nothing to do with this.
Why did he say that then? Did he fall?
The dogs had nothing to do with it, okay? You see how high the lamp is?
Yeah.
That's about it. That is a little higher than what it was when it was on his dresser, okay?
Yeah.
And when I was there, you even laid down on the bed and you showed me.
Yeah, because he was inside the bed.
That is not what did it either.
Oh. Was it natural?
No, it's not natural.
This
and it's not from his head on the
he killed that old man.
Because you told Deputy Benson that you both had your seatbelts on.
Yeah, he went forward.
And you never hit
this. I caught him from behind when he came back.
Okay, so I'm telling you everything that it's not. Okay?
Needless to say, James wasn't expecting this. Every version of events he'd given is laid out in front of him, and the detective makes it clear, none of it adds up. For the first time, James looks cornered, likely realizing there's no easy way out of the corner he's dug himself into. If he wants to escape suspicion, he'll have to come up with something new. Seeing this, the detective leans in and starts asking the tough questions James had been wishing to avoid.
Now, that being said, there's no could've, there's no anything. What happened, Jim? And I don't know how it happened. I'm hoping you're going to tell me because here's
an outside. Yeah.
Are you a drinker?
I have a drink once in a while. I make a hot toddy at night. Ralph had it
once in a while.
Well, no, just once. Yeah, once in a while.
So
we're not really.
So listen, I don't care. Okay, but are you a drunk?
No. No.
Because every time we've talked to you, somebody throughout this whole thing has always smelled alcohol on you. Always.
That was because after that happened, I felt so bad that I had a drink just to relax me, to try to go to sleep.
He had a drink because his conscience was eating him up, squad. That was the only way he tried to cope with killing this innocent man, squad. That's why he had that drink. Because he know he did it.
I had a drink, but otherwise I don't drink hardly at all.
Because, I mean, I could see, hold on, I could see if you were drinking, you don't remember something that happened.
No, it was only just a shot in some, either in tea or honey. It was like a hot toddy.
So then how did this happen to Ralph? You have told me many times in here that you hope we don't think you did it. You hope Fran doesn't think you did it.
I hope that they don't think.
Here's the problem we have.
No, but me bumping him could have done that.
Here's the problem we have.
Myself.
It's not a bumping thing.
Isn't it?
No. In here, they said it would take at least 30 pounds of force.
Really? What did he hit? Did he fall on the floor?
I want you to tell me.
I don't.
Bro, this man lying is pissing me off, squad. He lucky I ain't no interviewer. I would have jumped across the table and lost my job, bro. I don't mess with people, squad, that be beating up on people that can't defend themselves. You know what I'm saying? It'll be different if he beat somebody his age that was able, you know what I'm saying, like able to defend themselves. He up here beating on somebody he was taking care of, squad, that had no say-so, squad. The man was basically in a vegetable state.
If he fell on the floor and hit his head like that, you would have come in and he would have still been on the floor. There's no way he could have got up.
He claimed he was on. I don't understand.
Because you tell me all the time how you would have to pick him up and move him all the time.
He could stand up. And when I went out the door, he stood up. He could stand up.
Under pressure, James seems to suddenly remember another detail, claiming Ralph was standing when he left to walk the dog. It's only a small adjustment, but another shift in the story that's already been shifting too much. By now, the detective can tell that pulling the truth out of James won't be straightforward. So instead of hammering him on the inconsistencies, he decides to lean into James's own odd behavior, the tearless sobbing, endless over-explaining, and the drinking. If James can be convinced this was an accident, maybe he'll finally admit to doing something he doesn't remember.
If you were drinking, and something happened, okay, and maybe you don't remember it, that's one thing, and that's fine.
We had a drink together.
So Jim, I just want to know, did you do something to him accidentally that you don't know, that maybe you don't remember?
Well, that's what I'm telling you. When I was bringing him through the door.
That didn't do it.
That didn't do it?
That didn't do it. Something hit Ralph with enough force to do that to him. And then maybe
when we were getting, could that have happened could something, what did they think it was?
The brain bleed would cause the unresponsiveness. Okay?
Yeah.
Are we clear on that?
I sure do.
So, no matter what happened after he was unresponsive, has nothing to do with it.
Could he have fallen on the floor while I was... Oh, I don't know. He could have crawled back.
Hey, bro, I said it earlier, squad. This detective's a better man than me. I hate when people sit in my face and try to play dumb. Bro, detective, hey, I salute you, dog. You must be good at your job. You got patience. I couldn't sit here while this man, knowing he obviously lying, acting all stupid. Could he have? No, fool. You were there. You did it. You know what I'm saying?
But he could do that.
If he hit his head like that, he would have been knocked out.
Well, I don't know. I was out for a long time. 20 minutes with each dog.
So every time, and everyone has noticed this, everybody that's talked to you have noticed this,
well, I'm so
that you don't cry.
I cry all the time.
You don't cry in front of us.
I cry 24
You try to, you have this dramatic...
No.
Like you're starting to cry and then there's no tears.
Well, because I'm just flabbergasted.
That's not a reason.
I was shocked when everybody came to the house. I never expected anything
but
like
that's
that.
it's not the only time.
Looks like the detective's persuasion isn't working as expected. Although James fumbles through his words, he still insists he doesn't know what could have happened. However, the detective has one more trick up his sleeve that's sure to do the trick. First, statements from the people who claimed Ralph called them, saying James had been abusive. And if that isn't enough, he's ready to go further with the autopsy photos showing the full extent of Ralph's injuries. The plan is simple. challenge James with Ralph's own words, and then force him to confront the medical evidence he can't explain away.
Let me ask you this. One time, did you dump a bucket of ice water over top of him while he's sitting in his wheelchair?
No, who said that? Who said that?
Jim, you got one chance here to tell me the truth. So
ice? What's that about? I never did an ice bucket on him. Who said that?
Why would Ralph call people and tell them that?
He never called.
Why would Ralph call and tell people that you abuse him?
If Ralph called people and told them, hey, my caretaker is abusing me, and that sad person didn't step in and get him some more help and away from this man, they should be charged. If he called his wife and said, wife, this man is not taking care of me, he's abusing me, he's neglecting me, why would his wife leave him there? I think she should be charged, and anybody that knew of this man's wrongdoing should be charged. Swole for president. Lock him up. Put him under the jail. And the wife needs to have some consequences, squad. You know what I'm saying?
You tell people that.
Yes, he did.
And this fool's still lying.
He made many calls about it.
No, he didn't.
So why would he do that?
I'll be sitting there beside his ass.
Because I was
looking
always with
like,
him. Ralph told everybody that his wife abused him. He told him his son abused him. He told everybody abused him. How could he get his way when he had panic attacks?
I'll be sitting right by that nigga while he lies, squad.
So you're telling me that you didn't do that?
No.
And that you've never abused him?
No.
I think, and everyone else is going to think, that you did something here. I'm going to show you something.
I know I'd be joking, squad, but he wrong when he did to that old man.
Look at his eye. Look at his face. Look at his chin. You think, and you're going to sit here and tell me, you think dogs did this to him?
Well, how did that end up there? That wasn't... I don't know how he's black and blue. He must have fallen.
When?
When I was outside. When I came in...
Okay, so I'll piggyback off that, and I'll say, okay, he did fall. Let's just say he fell. Ralph at 92 years old, and he hits that hard?
Yeah.
His ass is not getting off the ground without someone helping him.
Yeah. Well, he had this before.
Had what before?
Some of those black and blue marks.
Why?
Because the dogs were jumping on him, and he had hit his head.
Nah, squad, that's from not real talk, bro. They need my ass there. I know I joked about it earlier, squad, but nigga, they need to have another detective. I'm talking about close to the motherfucker at that nigga, looking just like this. I'm talking about why he tell his story damn near breathing on his neck, squad. You said what? All right, go on. All right, you lied. Go back. So what happened? So break it down in detail. So he fell. Did he get up? Did you help him up? You said what? I can't hear you. I'm talking about he need to get pressed, squad. These detectives too soft. Hey, swole for detective, bro.
Wait. What's that?
Hey,
you know what that
if
is?
you still hearing this video, watch me, you a real
You know what the autopsy is telling me and the medical examiner? There's one on each side of his neck, and the one on the...
holding him up when he was trying to wake him up.
Why would you not tell me you grabbed him by the neck?
I did grab him by the neck.
You didn't tell me you did that.
Yes, I had to hold his head up, and I was trying to hold him up, and I couldn't. I was trying to get him out of bed, and I shook his head to wake him up.
Why would you grab someone like this? Not with two hands.
Yeah.
Like this. Why would you grab someone like this?
Because I had him like this.
By the neck?
No, hand here, I was trying to pull him up.
Even when faced with witness statements and the photos of Ralph's injuries, James refuses to budge. By now, he knows that staying firm is the safest play he has left. For the detective, it's proof that circling around isn't going to work, so he decides to make a risky gamble, cut straight to the point, and accuse James of murder.
So I'm going to tell you what I think happened. You want to hear what I think happened?
How did you want to know?
I think that Ralph was probably on you about something.
No, he wasn't.
Listen, I don't know that you remember doing it, but while Ralph was laying in bed, you grabbed him by the neck, and you took your other hand and you hit him with that lamp in the head.
I did not. I wasn't even near that lamp.
That's what I think happened.
No, it's not. Honest to God, that's
because
not.
Everything that I have, all this paperwork, everything in the report,
I did not.
That is what
I wasn't even near the lamp. I came in from outside.
You're lucky that I didn't bring in the picture of when they cut his head open to take his brain out, and you should see the massive amount of blood that is in his head on the left side.
Why?
Why? Because he was hit with something 30 pounds of pressure or more.
The detective's gamble is paying off, and the pressure is getting to James. Watch the next few seconds closely, because James is about to slip and give detectives the confession they desperately need.
Here's how it would go, okay?
Yeah.
Because exactly what I told you is what I think happened. I think maybe you...
I was never mad at him.
Everybody knows that you drink, and you told me you don't.
No, I have a drink once in a while. I don't drink often. Lately, after I did it, I got a drink.
In the middle of the conversation, James appears to let
Lately,
something
after I
slip.
did it.
A statement that sounds dangerously close to an admission. The detective doesn't react and seems to miss it entirely. But another officer monitoring the interview hears it right away. He knocks on the door and pulls the detective outside to fill him in. Moments later, the detective walks back into the room, now armed with the potential slip of the tongue and ready to make one last push.
You told me,
Yes.
just now, you told me, into this conversation today, you told me that you guys were having drinks, and then you had another one after you did it.
No, I didn't do it.
What did you do?
Huh?
You said that to me.
I didn't do
Yeah,
it.
got his
Just
ass.
do it.
I don't know. I want you to tell me.
I put him on the bed, actually, earlier. But did it? What's did it?
I don't know.
How could...
I don't either.
What?
Why
so
would I
you
say that?
I don't know, Jim. That's what I want to know.
They can't do something to me, can they, for all this that happened? I don't want to end up being
I
put in
don't.
jail for something or whatever, for something I didn't do that was not something that was violent.
Well, you did it, but it's an accident, you're
Yes.
saying.
One thing is certain by now. James has absolutely no grasp of the severity of the situation he's in. He doesn't even seem to realize that the final statement he just made has sealed his fate, giving investigators exactly what they needed. And with that, the interview is over. 2 days later, James Clement is arrested, held without bond, and indicted for involuntary manslaughter and lying to a police officer. His trial began on January 15th,
What'd he get?
2025. Prosecutors argued that 6 years of round-the-clock caregiving left James burned out. He was dealing with his own health issues, stressed, and drinking heavily. Between September 23rd and 26th, James repeatedly struck Ralph Shurman with enough force to cause fatal brain trauma and leave visible bruises and head injuries. On the night of September 25th, James delivered at least one high-force blow to Ralph's head, causing internal hemorrhages that proved fatal within hours. Every shifting explanation James gave was exposed as nothing more than a cover-up story. Ralph's wife also testified in court, revealing that just days before his death, Ralph called her crying, saying James was becoming violent with him and begging her not to call police because...
I don't care if that man told her not to call police. She should be charged, bro. She should get something. I wish somebody right now would call me and say, hey, I'm getting my AZZ whooped. Hey, my boyfriend is beating on me and almost killing me to the death and hitting me in the head. But please don't call police. Man, what? Listen, I ain't gonna lie. I would have made sure the problem was taken care of. I would have made sure that person was safe, bro. Especially if I loved him. You this man's wife. You know what I'm saying? Bro, this is a cold, cold world we live in, squad. That man, he need to get life.
Afraid of what might happen. On January 19th, 2025, James was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter and lying to a police officer. He was acquitted of murder, but sentenced to 54 months to 15 years in prison.
Squad, I ain't gonna lie, bro. They need to give him the maximum 15, bro. And I ain't gonna lie, squad, to me, this whole situation is crazy, you know? This whole situation is crazy to me, squad. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I really don't know what to say, bro. 100.